Yesterday morning, Salvador Ramos of Uvalde, Texas, uh, ran into a school, shot and killed 19 children and 2 adults at Robb Elementary School in Texas. That was barely a week and a half after 10 people were killed in a grocery store shooting in Buffalo, New York. So I'm sure everybody has heard about those two. It's the big one. I mean, big ones. They're in the news, and they will be for a while. And you guys are going to hear about these. How many of you talked about the school shooting today at school? Okay, so it's there, and it will continue to come up. And so I want to find out what you believe, but here's what I believe, and I want you to change my mind. What I believe is that these two 18-year-old guys, one guy at each one, I think that the problem is that these two 18-year-old men had guns. I think if we just take their guns away, or we outlaw guns, or make them really hard to get, I think that will solve the problem. I think that's the issue. So that's my stance on it. As long as we get rid of the guns, then things will get better. Change my mind. And if you would like to change my mind or try to change my mind, there's a microphone set up in the back in case you're not aware of that. And what I ask is that when you do your best to change my mind, that you would go to the mic and introduce yourself and then share with us what your thoughts are. And I put it in the back because I know some of you are scared to death to get up, and that way at least you're looking at the back of people's heads tonight. All right? Anybody? Anybody? Yes? Joaquin. Not Lucas. Who called him Lucas? Joaquin. Joaquin, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
This thing's on.
It's on.
Okay. My name is Joaquin.
Good to meet you.
All right.
All right.
So, guns are not the only problem. There's many other things out there. There can also be stuff like knives and tame dogs, all that type of stuff. But the thing is, like, even though like people do these things like with their guns, removing them won't fix it. And even so, that's their problem with God and Christ, because the sixth commandment, shall not murder. And then because like that's one of the big commandments, people who murder with any weapons of some sort are already having a problem with God. So like it doesn't matter if we remove these guns, because they're always going to find other ways to like get these things happen. Like they can also, of course, just use knives, and even like using a paintball gun can even hurt too.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
oh no, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I'll let you finish, and then I've got a couple of questions.
Well, usually guns shouldn't really be it's true that guns like are dangerous, and they should be like privated, but like even so people are always gonna find their ways to get the guns. Okay, what were you gonna say?
I was going to ask right at the very beginning, I think you said knives.
Yes, and tame dogs.
Tame dogs? What did you mean by knives and tame dogs?
Well, of course, like people would use like knives to like try to like murder, and
gotcha.
and throwing knives too, and then they like might train their dogs to like hunt people, like.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. But you know, if these two guys didn't have these guns, they would not have been able to kill all of these people. So it seems like to me like the problem is with the guns.
It's at a school, isn't it?
It was the one yesterday. Yes, the first one was at a grocery store.
Well, I'm pretty sure they can do other things than just with guns. Of course, they can also like brutally fight someone, and also they can just use like stuff like scissors and staples. Those hurt too.
Well, okay. All right. Anything else?
Nothing. No.
Okay. Thank you very much for your opinion. Okay. Anybody else want to try to change my mind? I saw this young lady's hand up over here first in the second row. Yes. Would you please step up to the microphone there and please tell us your name, and then let us share with us. Yes.
Hi, my name is Kylie Pendleton.
Hi, Kylie Pendleton. Welcome.
Okay. Wait, can you repeat like your whole thing, just so?
My whole thing?
No. Just your question, just your belief.
Yeah. So I think that these two recent shootings. My theory on it, my philosophy on it is that if these two guys didn't have these guns, they would not have been able to kill all of these people. So I think that we should. I think the problem is guns. I think we should get rid of guns.
Okay, my claim is that no matter what we take away or what laws we implement or what we allow people to have or not to have, the basis of everything is sin. And as the second sin entered the world, we were already separated from God. So no matter what we do or any law we can take away isn't going to take out sin from the world. The only actual solution for this would be Jesus and salvation and turning to him in repentance. And I don't think anything we could do, it's not our power, it's God's power. So no matter what we try or what we do, sin will always be in the world and sin will always be prominent in us unless we turn to God.
But aren't people? I mean, I feel like if we just took guns away, people are basically good. They are inherently good, and if we just took guns away, wouldn't that solve most of the problem? At least, I mean, I realize people could still kill without a gun, but it seems like it would take the majority of the problem away.
That is a fair claim. However, I think that even if you do ban guns, people are going to find another way to hurt people or harm people because, like I said, sin in us is inevitable because our humanity, we have a sinful nature and a sinful flesh. So no matter what we try to do or what laws we try to implement, no matter what we do, we're sinful at heart. That's why John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten Son, that whoever may believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. God sent his Son on the cross to die for us because he knew that was the only solution, and he knew that was the only saving of our world and us, because we're full of sin, and the only solution I'd say is God. So no matter if you take away guns or you take away anything for that matter, take away freedom of speech, you take away guns, you take away absolutely anything in this world, nothing's gonna solve that. We're sinful people.
Okay. So what are you holding? And were you gonna read something from there, or was that?
Well,
or was that just like?
So this is a Bible.
Or was that just like a preacher? Like they just hold it and they just.
No, I
just
had
to make it. Yeah.
I had a page and then I lost it.
Oh.
When I was looking up here.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. I think Kirsten's like done. She's like, Cloud, get this girl out of here. Excellent. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Anybody else? Oh wait. I'm sorry. I think I saw your hand next. So come on up.
Yeah. Can I say from here? Cool.
Sure.
Okay. So like I always do this.
On the spot. Everybody's looking at you.
So like it's not the gun, it's the person behind the gun, and kind of what like she said, like it's like them not having correction or like God, and it's just they're like depressed, or like there's something going on like mentally, and they don't know how to kind of deal with it. I feel like so it's just kind of like being nice to people, like and just like that. I guess that's how we would
Okay.
deal with that.
Okay. All right. I think I saw Alyssa's hand next, and there was somebody else over there, but yeah, go ahead and step up to the mic if you would. Por favor.
Hello, my name is Alyssa.
Hi.
So what you were saying about taking away all guns, you really think that's a good idea?
Well, I feel like if there were no guns in the world, then everybody, again, I think people are basically good, so you take away their guns, and I think people would, I think that would solve
You think everyone is basically good?
Yeah, I think everybody's basically good. Yeah, isn't that, I mean, like, most people are nice, like my neighbors are nice, and, when I go to the doctor, they're nice, and nurses and whatever. I mean, so yeah, I feel like most people are basically good.
Okay, there was a shooting at a school in Texas yesterday. Would you consider the person who just shot up that school to be a nice person, or?
No, definitely there are some bad people, like
right.
murderers, pretty much it. Murderers. I mean, those are bad people, but that's like 1 in a million. You know what I mean? Like I think, maybe he was a victim and he had stuff going on in his life, like this young lady over here was saying. Maybe he had other things going on. But I think most people are good, and if we just took away all the guns, I think that would prove that most people, I think it would pretty much end.
Okay,
all
what
this.
if I told you that there were other mechanisms that we can use to defend our schools other than taking away everybody's guns?
Like, such as?
Arming teachers.
So you're thinking like having a teacher in the classroom with a gun is a safe thing?
I think they should keep it in a safe place personally, and they
Okay.
need to be trained beforehand, but yes.
Wow. I don't know. I feel like if they just didn't have guns at all, then we would be fine. Like,
School shootings are a very bad problem in our
Yes,
country, and
they are.
I feel that teachers need to be prepared for these types of situations because unfortunately they're not very uncommon.
so then you're thinking. It sounds like you think school shootings will continue to happen.
They very well could. There are plenty of bad people out there. And another mechanism I was thinking of is having guards stand outside the school armed. And I really believe there are lots of retired military out there that would love to have that kind of job, protecting our kids.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't think there should be guns. And this is like getting off topic, but I'll say it anyways. I don't think there should be like people at school, even teachers or armed guards or police or anything at the schools, because that could come across as threatening to the students. So I think that they should just, if we just got rid of guns, maybe a buyback program, or stop the manufacturers or something like that. I think we would be good. With
Right, and they do background checks too.
that. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and if a teacher has a poor background, then they shouldn't have a gun. But the teachers who have guns, you think they're gonna start shooting at their students randomly?
No, cause I was gonna say most teachers are nice. I don't know if that's true or not.
Exactly.
But a lot of teachers are nice, and but no, I don't think they would do that. But I think if just no one had guns, then we wouldn't even have an issue. We wouldn't
If
have
no one had guns,
Yeah.
what if I told you a gun doesn't shoot itself? There is a person behind that gun.
Well, that's not what that lady on The View said. She said that guns, she's like, yeah, guns do kill people. That it's not people, but it's the guns that are doing the killing.
So you're telling me the gun suddenly sprouts legs and arms, walking around, pulling its own trigger
No.
and shooting at kids?
No, not that, but like, if the person didn't have the gun, they couldn't pull the trigger, and then they couldn't, but the gun is the one, the gun has the bullet, the gun is the one that shoots the person, so,
Who puts the bullets in the gun?
well, somebody does.
Who
So-
shoots the gun?
Well, the person has to pull the trigger, sure.
Exactly. There's a person behind that gun. The person is in charge of what the gun does. If
Yeah.
the person is pointing the gun at someone,
Are you pointing at me? I thought you, like this.
no, it's just an example. If the person is pointing a gun at somebody,
Yeah.
and that is their intended target, not the gun's intended target. That's their intended target.
Okay. Well, okay. I understand where you're coming from, and I will have to agree to disagree, I suppose.
Okay.
So,
Good
all
talk.
right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Now, I think I saw the young lady's hand way in the back. Come on up. Yeah, come in. Did you know she was even back there in the room back there?
I'm a hallucination. It's okay.
Would you please introduce yourself, Leanna?
Hi.
Thank you.
I'm Leanna.
Hi, Leanna. All right. What do you got?
For me, like, going off like the first person, because like guns, swords, and other things, they're inanimate objects, right?
Yes.
So if you lay a gun on the table, is it gonna shoot somebody?
Well, I mean, no. I mean, it could. It's possible that you could drop it on the table
No,
and it
I'm
goes
saying
off.
if it's on the table by itself, nothing's like
I get what you're saying. No, it's not. The gun itself is not going to just shoot on its own. No.
right. So it's the person, yes. 'Cause
Yeah.
you need a hand and a finger to pull the trigger.
That is correct. Yes.
So that means, because like in the Bible, it speaks about how like every human, every living being, well, in regards to us, are inherently evil.
Where does it say that at?
I know the verse. It was in my head. I'll have to pull it up later.
Okay.
But basically like when we're born, we're sinful. Because like from the Bible, it speaks about how when we come into this world, we're immediately sinful because of how Adam and Eve, how they sinned during the garden in Genesis. And then basically, so like, how do I explain this?
But aren't babies like cute and innocent and?
You would think so.
But really, they're evil.
But like,
Okay.
that kind of explains like all the sin. So basically, do you know what sin is?
That's like doing bad things.
It's like doing bad things,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Basically, sin is everything that's wrong that's spoken in the Bible that we're not supposed to do as Christians, which that's what I am.
Okay.
So a verse that I can talk about, because it's basically a matter of the heart. Because you know how it takes a person to shoot a gun?
Well, that's what you said. Yes.
Right.
Yes. I understand. I understand what you're saying.
It's
Yes.
like the Bible speaks about how it's a matter of the heart. And here's a verse. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Jeremiah 17:9.
Okay.
So basically, it's a matter of a person's heart. Like, from the school shooting, it takes a person to hold the gun, to think about it, and shoot.
Okay.
So that's just showing that it's not the gun itself that's bad. You shouldn't ban guns because it's not the gun that's doing the problem, yes? It's like saying the person who's driving drunk, it's the car's fault.
Right. I understand that, but I still think, like, if there were no guns, then these guys would not have been able to shoot up these places, or they wouldn't have been able to kill people like that.
So if there's no guns, they'd use cars, yes? You drive here, yes?
I do. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for this hypothetical purpose, you probably like drink it, right?
I probably what?
You probably drink and stuff because you're not a Christian, yes? You
Did you say I drank?
Yeah, you drink it. Yeah? Yeah? Right?
Yeah, I just had some coffee. I've got some water. What do you?
Like alcohol beverages, because you're not a Christian, yes? I'm assuming.
I'm not a Christian, but not not all people that aren't Christians drink
Do you have
alcohol.
friends that do?
I don't have any friends. No. Yeah, I've got.
So you
Yes,
probably
I know.
people,
I know
you
some people. I know some people that drink. Yes, I get what
You
you're
get what
saying.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, have you seen them ever drunk?
Yes,
So you've seen people. Have you seen in the news people driving? Yes.
I have.
Driving drunk, and they end up killing somebody.
I've seen that. Yes.
That's the same
Yep.
application as someone who's holding a gun.
What do you mean?
Because if a person driving drunk, they're choosing. They already knew when they were drinking,
Okay.
like, hey, this is probably gonna happen, but I'm still gonna drive anyways.
Okay.
It's the same thing as if someone's like, there's a gun here, I'm gonna use it, shoot up some people. You know, is that carrying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, yeah. Which just caused another thought to pop into my head. Maybe after guns, maybe we just get rid of cars too.
So if that means we'd have to get rid of everything, because there's so many things that can harm other people. It's like we're just gonna end up living in a box.
I mean, maybe we should just go back to just like living in tents and horse and buggy.
But why would we need to do that when it's the matter of someone? If people don't do it, then we don't have to deal with that.
What?
Like,
Can you explain?
if you don't cause harm to others, why would we need to get rid of those objects?
Well, so that they don't end up in the wrong hands, and
But if you get rid of it how is it the object's fault though if it's in the wrong hands?
Well, it's not really the object's fault, but it's just if we can keep them from getting into the people's hands, then then the people won't, those few bad people, because most people are good. Those few bad people won't misuse it to hurt people.
But wouldn't those few bad people would still find a way to get other things to cause those bad things?
I mean, I guess they could,
Because
but
I don't think getting rid of something stops the problem,
okay.
right?
What stops the problem?
Being able to control it, like being able to
Like gun legislation to
No.
control it.
I mean, like as like it's a person, like
Okay.
it's someone's decision,
Okay.
which you can't control how someone decides to do something.
Right, right.
That's why we have. I lost my train of thought. I forgot it. Hold on. Let me
So that means
see.
you lost the argument.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I promise.
You
Let's see.
lose. Good day, sir.
Hold on. I have something saved. Hold on.
That was from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The old one. Yeah? Gene Wilder.
Okay.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Here's another verse.
Yes.
It's Matthew 7:21-23. So from within, out the heart of man proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lewdness, and an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile a man.
And, okay.
So basically, all of like the evil things come from us.
Yeah. Did you say Matthew or did you say Mark?
Matthew.
Matthew 7?
I mean, yes.
Matthew Perry? Just kidding. Okay.
Matthew 7:21.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will. Would you like to say anything else?
No.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. Okay. We got to move fast on the next couple, and so I don't know who raised their hand over here. She was next. Okay, young lady in the green shirt. Would you please step up and? Is that your friend going up there? Are you so excited?
Hello.
She's-
Oh,
Hi.
okay.
Would you please
Kylie.
would you please introduce yourself?
I'm
Kylie.
another Kylie.
It's a good name.
Yes. Beautiful. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. Okay. So, have you ever, by chance, read The Great Gatsby?
No, but I saw the movie,
Okay.
and yeah, Leonardo.
Do you know the result when they blocked or they banned alcohol?
A lot less people drank alcohol.
No. It became a worldwide movement, and everyone drank alcohol every night, and it was parties. What do you think would happen if we banned guns?
Well, I think that if we banned guns and then like made an effort to go after the people manufacturing them, then we would really like have a because most of the world wants to ban guns.
Where'd you get those facts?
Instagram.
Okay. Also, have you ever heard of the black market?
I have heard of the black market. Yes.
Do you know that there is unlimited access to guns, no matter how you ban them or what laws you use?
So yeah, I think so. I know that people get guns illegally a lot of times, and I think that if we maybe created like a government agency to go after those types of things, investigate those things, then we could shut all of that down.
Yes, but you want to ban all legal guns. But 18-year-olds, most of the time, do not have legal guns. They steal other people's legal guns.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
But the guy yesterday bought his legally.
Well, still, if we blocked them and if we banned them, one, how are people supposed to protect themselves from people who don't use guns, like the other people have said?
Mm-hmm.
And two, how many more people are going to want to just demise those who banned it because
Okay.
of the opposing political party, and
Yeah.
they go and buy out all the guns that are currently on sale because they need to get rid of them.
Okay. It's a good point. Good point. Okay, I see where you're at.
Yeah.
And okay, I'll have to for now agree to disagree. Thank you very much, Kylie. Yeah. Okay, I didn't see who was next, but we're gonna move quick right here. Young man in the black cap back there. Yeah. CA. Look at this. That's so cool. Yeah, Chris Amaro. Wow. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi. What is your name?
Jesse.
Jesse.
So, I don't know if have you read any of the articles about the shooter?
Yeah, I've read a little bit.
What have you read?
I'm sorry.
What have you read about him?
He was 18 years old. He bought his guns legally. He had assault rifles, AR-15s.
Did you know he had mental issues?
Yeah, actually, it does. Yeah, it does sound like he did. Yeah. Yep.
So you think those mental issues caused him to have shootings? Because he said he was lonely.
Yeah, I'm sure it had a lot to do with it. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you there. So we agree.
So you think we should take away guns, right?
Yeah. Think if he wouldn't have had the guns, and
how about when we're like younger in school, they teach us, they force us to have classes for like mental stuff, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but like, no,
It's been a long time since I was in school.
Yeah, so, you know how she was talking about how, teachers have guns?
Yes.
We can do what you want, not have guns, but also have, like, mental classes, you know? To, like, because the guy was lonely.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So,
yeah.
maybe if we take away guns and help people get friends, that'll help to fix the issue.
No, no. I'm done.
Okay. Okay. I'm seeing this young man's hand right here. Let's go. I'm sorry to do this to you, but let's try to move quick through the next couple. No. Go ahead and go on up, and we'll try to move quick, and that way we can finish up with.
I agree with you. We need to be better people and help people make friends.
Yes.
That is a very good argument.
Yes.
But
thank you.
And I opened my Bible upside down. Okay. Here's where I was. So, what do you believe about the natural state of mankind?
There are a lot of things I believe.
Sorry.
I think that we are in the process of evolving. I mean, evolution. So we're evolving, and we're getting better. But just we kind of have some of these like hiccups once in a while. Things go wrong.
All right. So
transitioning. Go ahead.
We talked about young children and how you said that you believe that they're innocent, and of course Leanne brought up how even from children you're inherently a sinner, and inherently you're you're caught up in sin.
Yes. But
we didn't necessarily mention the state of people afterwards, or do they remain a sinner when they grow up? Can they become morally correct people? Well, I wrote a whole essay on this the other day, so I have some ammunition. Talking about guns. All right. Probably shouldn't have said that. All right. Speaking to the children of Abraham, Jesus replied in John 8:34. I tell you the truth. Everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Now, a slave has no permanent place in the family, but a son belongs to it forever. So if the son sets you free, you will be free indeed. Okay. Train of thought. Come on, let's go. I tell you the truth. Everyone who sins is a slave to sin. You're inherently born a sinner. Therefore, you are a sinner. You're a slave to sin. You aren't free to make your own decisions in that sense. You aren't free to really look at yourself and reflect and say, I shouldn't be doing this, or I shouldn't be doing this. Therefore, the only way to break free out of those chains is through Christ. At least, that's kind of my answer here. The way to get around this is not to ban guns or even to help people not be lonely or give them these mental classes. It's to spread Christ. Because being a child of Christ is ultimately freedom to understand, right and wrong. That's the most, generic Christian answer I can give. But, it's my answer.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, who else? Yes, young lady, would you please step up to the mic there? All right.
Hi.
Hi.
Do I have to introduce myself?
Please.
Okay, I'm Kirsten.
Hi, Kirsten.
Should I do last name to make it formal?
No, just
Okay.
first name is fine. Yep.
So you were talking about guns, right? Yeah,
correct.
that's
Yes.
okay,
Yeah, we should get rid of them.
Get rid of them. But
Yes.
what about my Second Amendment right, the right to bear arms?
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up because I think that I think our whole Constitution, everything needs to just be wiped out and start all over.
But then you'd be losing all your freedoms. So why would you do that?
Well, no, because we could we write a new one with an updated version for our time, the times that we're living in, and we put all the appropriate freedoms in there,
Okay.
and take away the guns and all that kind of stuff. Just pretty much overhaul and fix the whole thing.
Okay. So you're just really bent on guns kill people, yeah?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean,
Guns.
that's what happened in the last two,
Yeah.
within the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
You know,
Well, guns kill people, car accidents kill people, fist fights kill people. So are we just gonna ban everything and like live in like a protective bubble? Like those little like bubble wrap things? Like is that what we're gonna do?
I don't know. Maybe we just need a whole new reset. Maybe.
A reset.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know why.
Why? What?
Like it's not the gun that's killing someone; it's the person behind it that doesn't know what they're doing.
Right. Okay. So I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
If Salvador Ramos didn't have his those assault rifles,
Uh-huh.
would he have killed 19 kids and 2 adults yesterday?
Yeah, he could have done it with something else.
But it would have been a lot harder, right? I mean, like, what are you thinking? What else could he have used?
He could have used a knife. He could have used.
I mean, to
a
try and
car,
run
He could have
around,
used a bomb. He could have used many things.
he could have, but he used guns.
He used guns.
Yeah.
But
So
also in the 9/11, there was airplanes that were used. So are we gonna ban airplanes too?
well,
Because that killed many
I
more
mean,
people and
maybe
brought
we
down 2 national landmarks.
maybe we could talk about that later on. Like, maybe do that. I don't know.
Maybe you just don't have an answer.
Well, my answer is that just for right now, like, we should focus on guns and just getting rid of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you don't have enough arguments for everything else.
Well, just we haven't moved on to that yet. We're gonna, So I don't know. Do you want to talk about planes? We can talk about planes. So I think that when it comes to that kind of stuff, like being more aware of people that are getting on our planes or becoming pilots, and maybe just doing really good background checks, because everybody knows that those guys weren't really checked out really well, obviously, like they should have been, and so they were able to carry 9/11
Can
out.
I ask you another question?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So the guy that went into the school yesterday and killed 19 people and 2 adults,
Uh-huh.
he was killed. Yes.
He was.
Yeah, he was. The police officers shot him and he died.
Yes.
So, are you telling me that like the gun they used was that bad that they killed him, or what's your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I don't think we should be killing people. Anybody should be killing anybody.
But if that
so-
was your kid that was at the school, and they got injured because of this guy,
I mean, yeah, that was what.
would you have felt like bad that the police officers proceeded to kill?
Well, he was a victim, so I do feel bad for him.
But like, what if that was your child at the school? Like,
Yeah, that would be super sad.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to have like some sort of understanding for those parents, right? Like,
Yes.
they don't feel bad for him. They're.
Oh, I don't know if they do.
Well, they probably don't, because that was like their kid. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know.
So I don't know. I feel like it's not guns that kill people; it's the people that are behind them, and some people just don't know how to use a gun, and others do.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. We got. Let's go with the young man in the back over there. And sorry to rush you, but see if we can do it pretty quick.
So you're saying we should...
I'm sorry. What is your name?
Joshua.
Hi, Joshua. All right. Go ahead.
So you're saying we should ban guns, right?
Yes, I think we should ban
So
guns.
in the U.S., right?
I'm sorry.
In the U.S.
Well, in the U.S. because I'm in the U.S. But
Okay,
I think
so
it'd be
what
good.
about everyone else that owns guns in Russia, China, everything else, other states and everything?
Well, I think if we can get world leaders
I
involved,
don't
then
think they
we could
will.
probably.
That's the thing. People don't really care what you think about. So when you
Well,
say
Most of the world wants to get. The majority of people in the world want to get rid of guns
not everyone does.
and weapons. No, not everybody.
Let's take Putin for example. He
Okay.
wanted to attack. He wanted to attack Ukraine just because he wanted his place back.
But, okay.
And Ukraine was unarmed. What did Ukraine ask for? They asked for weapons to defend themselves. Now let's say they didn't ask for that.
Okay.
Ukraine would have been in trouble. They would have been in slavery and everything else. Well, would you be okay with that or no?
No, I would not be okay with that.
Okay, but you're okay with them not letting have guns.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we didn't allow Russia to have guns and we just kind of like
But
shut
they
the
don't
whole
care
thing.
about us. That's the thing. So what would you say about that? Now then, Russia got Ukraine. Now they attack us.
But we could get the United Nations involved and get people to other nations to impose laws on these other countries so that they get rid of their guns too.
You need at least 12 majority votes to get that to go in. There's at least 12, not 12. You need at least 5 or 12 more votes to get that in.
Okay.
Not only just from us in the U.S., but everyone else in the state to get that majority vote. And like I said, not everyone's going to take that vote in. So what are you going to do about that still? Ban all guns?
Well, I
That's not
think
gonna
if
change
we could
everything
just
still.
talk to people, again, I think most people are good. So if we just talk to them and help them to understand and see, I think we could convince them.
All right, let's say we actually did take up all the guns this time.
Yep.
Like someone was saying earlier, we can make makeshift weapons and all that. Like
Yep.
knife, bombs, you can even make a bomb with just gunpowder and all that.
Yep.
So, how do you think a gun is made? That's my question real quick.
I don't know.
Gunpowder, that's really it. You
Oh,
can even
okay.
put gunpowder in anything else. A toy grenade, fill it up with gunpowder and rocks and throw it out of school, boom,
Okay.
dead.
Okay.
So what do you think of that, so? Do you think you want to get rid of gunpowder now?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we should just get rid of the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, but gunpowder is used in a lot of other stuff too. And just not majority of bullets or anything.
Well, I think we could regulate that to keep it, wherever it's used, or come up with something. Scientists come up with something else that we can use other than gunpowder for other things.
But gunpowder is majority of what we need, though.
Well, I don't know.
For example, take away light. What would you do then?
Without light,
No light. What
wouldn't be able to
then?
see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why can't we have guns?
I don't follow.
Exactly, you don't.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, that's going to be it for now because I've got to go through this real super quick so that we can get to small groups. Hey, listen, you guys did an excellent job, and some of you brought up some of the same things that I have written down. Now, what we're going to do is what we've been doing is the second part of. We always do know what we believe. What did we say? Know what we believe and then know how to discuss our beliefs. We will not go over the know how to discuss our beliefs. You'll remember the ABCs. Always be ready to explain what you believe. The B is be respectful, be loving, be gentle with people as you're discussing these things. And then the C is to correct them. That's our job. That's part of our job is to correct others. So what I'll do is I'll go quickly over just that first part, which is know what we believe. Here's what we believe. 2 basic things. This is not the entire argument. These are two general things that we believe as Christians. The first is that murder, like some of you said, murder will happen with or without guns. Okay? If you're taking notes, you can write these down. Genesis 4:8. In fact, I've got these up there. Genesis 4:8, Exodus 2:11 and 12. And I'll just tell you real quickly, I'll sum these up. Genesis 4:8, that's where Cain killed Abel. No guns. But Cain killed Abel. We don't know what he killed him with, but he killed him. Didn't have a gun. In Exodus 2, Moses killed an Egyptian. No gun. We don't know if he had a weapon. We don't know what he did, but we know that he killed the Egyptian. Okay? So no guns, but murder still happened, even among God's people. That happened. Sad to say. Okay? The second thing is that we know this. Where are we at? Go one more. Murder originates in the heart. Again, if you're taking notes, I think it was Leanna that mentioned this, Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things. In Matthew 15:18, Jesus said, for out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications. That's what he said. And then this one, it's a long one, so I won't read through it, but Romans 3:10 through 18, that's where Paul says there's none righteous, no, not one. There's none who understands. There's none who seeks after God. He goes on to explain, he says their feet are swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their ways, and the way of peace they have not known. There is no fear of God in their eyes. So that was a real quick summary. But here's basically, let me see, did I put it on there? I'm sorry, I did not put it on there. I'll leave those up in case you're still taking notes. But here's what we believe as Christians from those verses, that murder comes from the heart. We believe that the problem is a problem of the heart. Like our pastor says, The heart of the problem is the problem of the heart. Okay? So that's our stance on it, is that, it's not the gun, it's the person doing it, that there are evil people. And we do believe that people are innately evil or bad. They're not naturally or generally good. Some people think that people are just, people are basically good. And, you might say people are basically nice. Most people are nice, the majority of people. But what the Bible teaches is that people, because of sin, somebody mentioned sin in Genesis, because of sin, people are, what the Bible teaches is that people are generally evil or bad or sinful. Now, we don't all act out on that because a lot of us have learned how to control ourselves, right? Mom and Dad taught us when we were younger. We caused problems or trouble or got in fights with our siblings, or tried to talk back to them, and our parents disciplined us and kept us in line and taught us how to keep that under control. But it's in there. Those babies, somebody mentioned babies. Babies are selfish little brats, aren't they? That's the truth. They're cute, but they are selfish. It's in there, and so that's what the Bible teaches. What's the solution? What's the solution? The solution is, you're never going to be able to get rid of all the guns. In San Bernardino, there is an epidemic right now of what they call ghost guns. Police are probably daily stopping, pulling over people, finding people with 10 ghost guns in their car. That means that they purchase these guns online or through some other way, and they're not marked, no serial numbers, nothing. They're just off the record. People are driving around with these things all the time, and you can take away all the guns, but there's always going to be somebody that's going to figure out how to make more. And someone mentioned the black market and all of those things. It's just, you're never going to be able to get rid of the guns. So what's the solution? Well, one of you said, hey, the solution is everybody needs God. That's absolutely true. But in reality, not everybody's going to receive God, or they're not all going to have a relationship with God, right? So what are we going to do? The next best thing would be to reintroduce this, to teach morality, a morality that's based on what we call a Judeo-Christian belief. In other words, what we think, a biblical morality. To start teaching that to our, families, schools, kids, and reintroduce that. Is that going to happen anytime soon? No, but we understand that that's where we stand. And so that's what we want to do here on these Wednesday nights when we're going through this, is figure out just where do we stand. So when these discussions come up, I don't have all the solutions. I don't know how to fix all the world's problems, but I know that here's what the Bible says. And that's what I want to be able to share